Time now for our keys to the game against the Vikings. We talked about the penalties last Sunday, 10 of them for 100 yards after the game. Talking with the team, it sounds like the emotion of that home opener really played a role in sort of those like extra penalties, or what Pete Carroll talked about. But I have to imagine as a player, it's so hard to play with your emotions in check. So how do you do that this week?
Yeah, I mean, playing at home for the first time in over 600 plus days, I would expect a lot of emotion, right? But as players, we have to play fundamentally sound assignment football. And I think the Seahawks did that for the most part the first half. But as players alluded to after the game, we had to do it for all 4 quarters.
Yeah, and that was something that both Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner said after the game. Have to stay sound. The offense was so good in week 1, but week 2, it really seemed like they struggled to get the run game going, especially in the second half. How do you establish the run while at the same time being open to plays like what we just broke down with Tyler Lockett, knowing that that could happen at any time, but you have to establish the run? How do you do that?
You have to win first down. You can't have any penalties. I think when you have penalties, your play selection is limited, right? And in order to ensure those explosive play actions that we're all accustomed to seeing, we have to be ahead of the sticks. And we have to win first down. And
Shane Waldron, we've talked about how great his offensive playbook is, but if it narrows down because you put yourself in bad situations, it doesn't do much good.
At all.
Now, one of the people who put Seattle in some bad situations was Derrick Henry. He cooked them for a tie, the most rushing yards against a Pete Carroll-led team. So what does Seattle's defense do to make sure that Dalvin Cook does not have the same sort of game that Derrick Henry had?
Yeah, I think we have to dominate in the trenches up front. Each player has to do their job. They have to stay within their gaps. They can't allow any creases. Because if they do that, Dalvin Cook will expose that.
And that's exactly what Jamal said. He said, you give this guy just the tiniest crease, and he's gone.
He's gone.
Because Dalvin Cook's the same way. I mean, like, they're both similar backs in that they're just that bruising back. Is that really, like, is that unique among running backs in the league, do you think?
It is. It is. And like I say, I think, you know, Seattle, they attacked that very good early on in the first half. I think the second half, not really a rhythm, sort of say, and sometimes that takes a toll. It's all about 4 quarters. It's not what you do in the first half. It's all about how you finish.
Can't win the game at halftime.
Yeah.